Utah Film Festival is showing a lot more local film screenings, including what's happening on August 6th at 7 p.m. We're watching Jump Seat with Aaron Colburn. Aaron is the director of Jump Seat. First off, thank you for being here. Can you tell us a little bit about what Jump Seat is? I want to say Jump Street.
Yeah, a lot of people tend to do that.
But it's Jump Seat. Tell me what Jump Seat is all about.
Yeah, so Jump Seat is it's a short crime film about a woman who moves criminals around the city. That's kind of like that's her job. But what she really wants to do is be a singer. And that kind of thing is tugging on the back of her. And when she picks up what turns out to be an old friend who has a hitman on his tail, she finds it more of an existential fight to survive.
Okay, I love it. I love it. Now, the whole filmmaking process is very collaborative.
Correct.
There's some rewards and some challenges. What did you find interesting in making Jump Seat?
Oh, yeah, it really was all about the collaboration. I have an incredible team. Leah Thompson, Drew Williams, my cinematographer, and Dave Moppert, our main producer. Incredible people. And so having that kind of brain trust to help me, when I'd hit roadblocks and stuff like that, just really made the whole process, for one, a lot more fun because these are all my best friends too. But also, the end product is better because of it.
Yeah.
When you have somebody like Dave, and anybody that knows Dave has very strong opinions on stuff, and he will tell you what's wrong with it. And I've learned that even though I might not like it, I need to listen to him.
Dave's usually right.
Yeah, he's usually right.
Now, you were mentioning it earlier before we started.
Yeah.
This is the second screening in Utah, so it's finally coming back.
Yes.
So where is it screened before this?
So it's screened at the Fear No Film Festival in downtown, connected to the
Derek Mellis and those guys.
Yep,
did
Derek.
a great job up there.
Incredible job. It was a ton of fun. Screened at the library, and it was kind of a lie actually. We did have a cast and crew screening right after we finished.
Oh, it doesn't count.
Yeah, in Broovies. Yeah, it doesn't count.
But Broovies is awesome. Great resource here in Utah.
Absolutely. Very good to local filmmakers.
So let's talk about a little bit more about this cast, okay?
Yes.
Finding local cast is one of the most rewarding things I think we find here because they're so talented.
So much talent here.
Talk to me about how important was it to find the cast that you found, and how did you go about doing that?
Oh, it was extremely important. I mean, especially for the main character of Quincy, had kind of a lot I was asking. I mean, I was asking them to drive and act. Well, not exactly drive. We had a trailer, but to drive and act.
I was like, wow, that's dangerous.
I know, right? Yeah, to drive and act, to cry, to sing. So it was a pretty heavy load I was going to be asking of the lead. And I had a friend who had a small part in my last film named Alexa Ray. Used to be local. She lives in LA now, but she only moved there about a year and a half ago. And she was kind of who I had in mind when I wrote it, but I still thought it was really important to do auditions for all four of the main parts in the movie. And so we held auditions in downtown Salt Lake. We got in touch with TMG, as well as, I am blanking on the name of the other.
Probably McCarty.
McCarty, yeah.
Yep.
With TMG and McCarty, and we got a bunch of really incredible local actors. We made our jobs really hard because there's so many good ones. Ultimately, for the lead, I ended up going with Alexa. She just felt right. She fit right. She was who I had in mind already, and so it still was not an easy decision because we saw some really good people read. And then Charla Baciccio.
So good.
She's amazing.
Charla's an old-time favorite with the Utah Film Festival.
Oh yeah. Well, she's one of the best we have around here. She's great. She's just a rad person in general too.
Yes.
And yeah, for sure. And she, as soon as she read, it was very, very clear. She was one of the later ones, but it was very, very clear that it was her. Like she just crushed it absolutely. And then for our hitman, we saw a lot of people, again, some really incredible people with lots of different takes on it. We ended up going with Tito Libas, who you see him a lot in like RC Wheelie commercials and stuff like that. Great dude also. And he just came in and he crushed it. Did a little bit different take on it than I had initially had in my head, but he was
so interesting.
It really is. It was really interesting seeing all the different interpretations people had, and his was probably the most fun. I think he's one of the highlights of the movie. I think he just did a great job. And then for one of the other main characters, oh my gosh, I'm going to blank on his name. For one of our other main characters, who is Quincy's friend and her passenger, we ended up going with Matt Mascaro, who his wife is a hair and makeup artist locally as well, and he just crushed it. He had kind of the dark intensity to him, and just did an amazing job. But the audition process is one of my favorites because the first time you really get to kind of start directing anybody, because you see somebody you're like, okay, maybe try this or something like that. So it's just a lot of fun. It's when everything starts to kind of come alive.
And choosing the right cast really does make the director's job like a zillion times better.
It does. That's what I always say. If you want to have good acting in your film, just think about your casting a lot. Cast really well, cast hard, and they'll make your job a lot easier. People will be like, "Oh, you're such a great director." I didn't do anything.
The actors took care of it. It was like, I just made sure the script looked right, and then I put the camera in, I stayed action, and I went home.
Yeah, no, stand over here, not here.
Oh,
but,
yeah, because it's really important on where you stood. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm more of a blocking kind of guy.
Yeah.
That's all it really comes down to.
You got the acting all taken care of.
Exactly. Now I'll just tell you where to put the body. That's
right.
That's right. Now, Jump Seat, again, is playing on August 6th at 7 p.m. But how can people find out more about Jump Seat? Is it online? Like, can we find a social presence online?
So currently, the film itself is not available online. We still have a few more festivals we have to get through before we're going to be allowed to do that. So it's nice and exclusive. You can find, I'm not personally on any social media really anymore, but my company Paper Cutter Pictures, which is just at Paper Cutter Pictures on Instagram, that's where I'm posting, lots of BTS content, stuff about our previous films as well. So that's really where you can find us the best.
Excellent. And then what's coming down the pipeline? There's so many cool adventures that are happening in filmmaking world out in Utah. What have you got coming down the pipeline outside of Jump Seat?
So, now the Jump Seat's all wrapped up, we're well into all the festivals. It's been time to start thinking about what's next. And we've decided as a team that our next effort is not going to be a short, we're going to do a feature next.
Yes.
So, and it's a crime sci-fi horror film. I'm currently working on writing right now. It's called We Belong to the Void.
Okay.
It based very, very, very loosely on our very first short, which was a 48-hour film. The very, very basic concept stretched into something pretty much completely different. So that's what's next. I'm still working through, putting my head down, getting the script written, and deciding if I'm already going to be blowing the budget.
Well, I love hearing it when filmmakers have made that leap from saying, we had a lot of fun with shorts, now it's time to go into features, because that's where you start making this a career.
That's right.
And even with our features, one of the things that we have really well established here with Utah Film Festival is a great relationship with distributors and sellers that work on an international level.
Excellent.
One of our recent winners, The Rite of the Shaman, got picked up by Gravitas Ventures and Purdy Distribution for a theatrical release. And so they've already picked up their streaming, their DVD, and their theatrical deals.
Amazing. That's great.
And it literally came from a screening at the Utah Film Festival.
That's
no
amazing.
credit there. We actually have a video of Alicia talking about how it all started here, which is really cool.
Yeah, I actually started following her not too long ago. I've been kind of following what's been happening with that. So, it's amazing.
So make sure you bring it here, because I got a distributor on board who does specialize in thrillers and sci-fi films, and they make really good financial choices when it comes to that.
I like that,
so let's make this a full-time deal. One more time, everybody. Jump Seat is screening on August 6th at 7 p.m. This is Aaron Colburn. He's the director. And are you going to be there at the screening?
I will be at the screening as well as most of my team.
Wonderful. Then you guys are going to be able to take a look at the team, take a look at the screening, just be in awe by their awesomeness. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Aaron, thank you so much.
Hey, thank you, Warren. Appreciate it.
One more reminder, Jump Seat, August 6th, 7 p.m. at the Utah Film Festival. And I've got more amazing filmmakers coming up next.
Oh, I really hope the clouds look this way. And then as soon as we got there, the sky cleared just enough to the point where it was exactly what we were wanting. And then I started thinking, oh, it would be cool if there was haze in the shot, and a fire started on the other side of the mountain and gave us perfect haze for the shot.
Wow.
We all have very different personalities, and when you're a mom, there's just so much on your mind, and you can kind of